I like how it says it's showtime. Good afternoon. Happy weekend. This is like the Friday, right? This is the Friday before a holiday. So enjoy yourself. Be careful. Be great. But enjoy. I wanted to come on because there are people that are reading with me on Surviving Tough Times. If you have not already gotten your copy, please, you still have time. Um, Amazon, Walmart. I'm not really sure how many other places, but yes, it's called Surviving Tough Times. On your march, get set, go. And remember, it's just really the template. My words are in there, but each day there's a place in there for your thoughts. Your thoughts become what's important. That's what completes your book. That's how you know that you are surviving through the tough times. This you'll also be able to go back and reference the book if you need to about maybe a certain step or something that occurred during that 30-day journey that you'll be able to carry on with you for the rest of your life. Trust me when I tell you, it's just eye opening. It's eye opening because it makes you appreciate people for who they are. And then it makes you be able to be okay with who you are. So I wanted to just come on because a lot of people have been asking the question, but the title of it, the topic, or I should say the name of the chapter is If You're Good at Being Bad, the Enemy Will Be Mad. All right. So I know that a lot of people have been asking the question, well, what does that all mean? If you're good at being bad, the enemy will be mad. Think about a time when the one thing that you wanted to do, or the one thing that you knew you shouldn't do, you wanted to do it so bad that you did it anyway. Am I by myself? I could be by myself. But when you think about that one time that you did something, and then you look at it and you say, wow, I didn't get caught. So then you'll be able to do it again. So meanwhile, in between time, as life goes on, if you're good at being bad, what happens is you just get better at being bad. And you start to meet people and you can frequent your bad and that's what it is. And it's like there's a connection in it when you're bad. But that's why it says if you're good at being bad, the enemy will be mad. The second that you decide that you want to live for right, the second that you decide you don't want to be that way anymore, of course the enemy is going to be extremely upset because you were one of his soldiers. You were one of his. You didn't care. You had a care less in the world. It didn't matter what your kids sounded like. Didn't matter what they looked like. None of it. And trust me, there's so many of us that sit in a place where it's like, should I say something? I need to say something, but no, no, no. If you are on that side and you are on your way over and you didn't ask God to come into your life and do something different, trust me when I tell you, all hell breaks loose. It's not a sweet transition. It's really not a sweet transition. Some people might have a sweet transition, but if you were anything about being bad, trust and believe the enemy is mad. He's coming, kicking, screaming. He's using relationships. He's using old friends. He's using anything. He's using broke down cars. He's using whatever he needs to use to get you to not be on the moment of where you say, I want change in my life. I want different in my life. God is doing something in me and I don't even know what it is, but that is what I want. I don't want you. I want that. And the second you make that decision, all hell breaks loose. The blessing of it is that you're affiliated with people like me that you know that you can actually tune in and be like, I don't understand. That's where my whole misunderstood comes from. I want to be able to make sure that you are there so that you do get your voice out. You do understand what's going on in your world. If that's process for you, then that's what we do. We process. If it's rapping, then we in the studio with this thing, bro. Like what I'm trying to say is that right now in 2021, the only thing we need to be doing is getting it done. Why? Because our babies are dependent on us. Simple, straight like that. It's easy. You can focus on what you want to focus on, but if you focus on the babies, it makes more sense. even in what we're going through today, if we're not processing it through the lens of the child, we're failing our kids. Each and every day I listen to the news reports and I'm like, someone say something. Say something that's beneficial for everyone, not just one group of particular people, or don't misinterpret what I'm saying when I say that we need to do it together, and that no one is exempt from this, as I would say. In this march where surviving tough times is all about, and this on your march, get set, go. I believe and I pray that the ranks will be filled with all types of people, all colors, all races, all nationalities, all creeds, everything, bringing it all in at one accord, just so that we can understand that, guess what? As long as we decide that we want to be good, and we have already done our bad and everything, and we got real comfortable in our bad, always know that the enemy is just going to be mad. And I mean, at the end of the day, you got to really start to make choices, because remember, the choice is yours, and God will tell you. Well, I should say God won't tell you, but if you read it in the scripture, he does not really force anything upon anyone. He'll tell you in exactly what it is. Most people have a problem with their belief. So because of the fact that you don't really truly believe what God said about you, then it's easier for something or someone to come in and give you something that will throw you off, because of the fact that it's not so deep down inside of you. Because if you understand what God is saying about you and what he did for you, then it doesn't matter what comes your way. You still going to keep there. You still going to go there, because that is what you know that God has said that is going to happen. People can start dying all around you. Your focus and your job and your goal is to keep doing what God is calling you to do in the midst of all of that shit. And it's just like that. If we could do it like that, the person that's really, really, really diligently out there working, that is the person that's talking to the children. That's the person that's explaining to the kids what's going on. But then you got to explain, everybody is not going to be who you are. But if it's you, if you're listening to me, it's you, bruh, sis. Everybody ain't listening to me. I'm tell you like that. Why? Because we've been somewhere, we have somebody done said something, and they have no idea. They have no idea about what it was when I got my touch. And I could only imagine what your touch is about. And that is down the time. This is the time we need to do it. Because guess what? Because if you're good at being bad, if you was good at it, he is throwing every and any inkling of anything in your way, just so that you can turn back and say, I don't need that. I'm all right just where I'm at. Wrong. Wrong. And that's why it's more and more, it's so imperative that we stress this, not only to ourselves and to our coworkers and to our family members and to our peers, but we have to tell our babies. There's something in the process of these children right now that we are missing, and as long as we are missing it, we will be failing for years to come. And that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me, because I was one of those people that I walked around silly, dumb, stupid on some other stuff, because I really didn't know. No, really, seriously, I did not know. There were some things that I just did not know. Now, that's not my fault. However, I bless God for my parents, because as we live in a world today where they say that you can't do this, you can't shelter your children from violence, you can't get them into different curricular activities, like, you can't get them into extracurricular activities so that they can develop skills and things of that nature. Like, now that seems like that's foreign, but it shouldn't be foreign. And if it is foreign, let's bring it all back. We're bringing it all back, because now is the time that we need to bring it all back. That's why I'm asking for you. If you are a part of me and you are a goon and you're willing to fight this thing out, then I'm asking you to, one, you have to join the Surviving Tough Times Facebook page. That's where we actually are going to meet. That's where we're going to actually come together and put some thoughts on some paper. Because actually, remember, it's your thoughts and my thoughts makes it our thoughts. That's when we can start to begin doing something that is going to manifest for our children. And I don't know how much I can stress it enough. But the second you decide to give your life over to Christ, the second you decide that you no longer want to be on that losing side, because I don't know about contrary popular demand. I know what it might look like, but you do know that we win. So if you want to choose to be over there on that side, the choice is always yours. That's the blessing. The choice is always yours. My thing is when you know better, you're supposed to do better. Simple like that. If you don't know, then you are subject to whatever it is that they have. But if you do know and you don't say anything, you're just as wrong as the person that is committing that offense. That's how I look at that. And I believe that is how that should be. No other way. And when we do it that way, it actually holds everybody else accountable. We're all sitting there trying to figure out everybody's accountability. And as long as we figuring out everybody's accountability, then we're not so much focused on the things that are going on in our lives, the depression or whatever, the anxiety that people are dealing with every day. COVID is over. Well, they said it is over. Last week people were sick, but this week, no shower curtains, no nothing. Everything is back to normal, or they say. But the point of it is we don't want to go back. We don't need to go back. We need to move forward. We need to move forward. The way that you do it is you make up decisions in your mind and then you go from there. You move forward. You just like, there's nothing really to do about it, but just move forward. Everything that you do, you just got to move forward. So I don't know. Yeah, I hope that hit you, because everything has to just like move forward. No, we're not going to do that. One thing for sure, two things for certain. Guess what? I'm so sick of having to stop something because of somebody else's sickness or stupidity. Real rap. If you're dealing with people and they try to act dumbfounded on you, please tell them that this is not it. It's the same way. If you're trying to make a conscious decision to make something right happen, and everything is going to come in your way, just start telling it, get away. Because guess what? Just like it says, if you're good at being bad, the enemy is going to be mad. And he's going to do everything, fight tooth and nail to get you back. But understand that God be the Lord. And as long as you're giving it to him, he's going to give it right back. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.